Much. I want to bring in actor and singer Frank Stallone. He used to live in the Palisades back in the 80s. And I want to pick up on something that was in Griff's report, and that was, you heard Mayor Karen Bass, and who was in Africa when the fire started. And then you've got Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom, Frank, he goes on Meet the Press yesterday, tries to do cleanup. New York Post says this: Governor Newsom tries to weasel out of blame with his claims about the reservoir, and he's called out about it. Your reaction?
Well, it's all a bunch of jaw tackle. Everything starts from the top to the bottom, and everyone is complicit in it. Quinis should be fired for Department of Water and Power. I don't know how you have a reservoir. It's not like the Palisades is a metropolis. It's a small, quaint little town. And how the reservoir has been empty since July, that's my birthday, that's like 6 months ago, which makes no sense. And you see hundreds of fire trucks that are inoperable, that are in a lot, because they didn't get the money they need to hire mechanics and all to keep these things updated. As you know, a fire truck relies on hydraulics, so it's a lot of work. But it just seems like it's the blame game. You know, I mean, we have, honestly, the worst governor, well, definitely in the history of California, probably in the whole United States. And we have an inept mayor, and we just have ineptness everywhere. And this should have, I mean, of course we can't control, you know, the winds and stuff, but I believe there's a lot of arson. I think it's environmental terrorism going on. I don't know how an ember goes from Pacific Palisades, like 8 miles, to the Hollywood Hills.
We don't know, and that's the thing. There's still no answers about the cause. You know, and that's obviously until they can get people safe and get the ground cooled off. We're just not going to know. I agree with you, but I want to ask you about this. You know, you mentioned obviously Newsom, and we were talking about Karen Bass. Alicia Finley has a piece in the Wall Street Journal op-ed section this morning. She says how the left turned California into a paradise lost. And she said, after the November election, Newsom announced his plans to, quote, Trump-proof the Golden State. How about fireproofing the Golden State?
Well, that's not going to work now. I mean, Trump was saying 4 years ago that we had to clean that brush and on and on. But I mean, again, everyone is like passing the buck. And all these people, probably 94% of them, vilified me because I've been coming on Fox. I've been going online for 4 years stating my case. It's probably wrecked my career, or whatever's left of it. But now everyone is like, rah, rah, you know, but they were all like left-wing blues that voted these people in office, and now that their homes burnt down. Forget the poor people in Altadena. I mean, they don't have anything. Those were like little homes, and they're wiped out. They probably don't have insurance. They probably don't have a lot of money, so they're wiped out. But just because it happens to the rich elite, it's this front page news. If it was just Altadena and not the Palisades or Hollywood, you would hear a little bit about it. I mean, and that's what's tragic about the whole thing. These poor people are finished. And now we have looters. To me, is the lowest form of life you could have. I mean, they're finding people that are looting these poor people that have lost everything. I mean, what kind of a human being does that? You know, in 1906, during the San Francisco earthquake, it was legal to shoot looters. I don't know if you could do that now, but in those days, they did.
Well, you know, that's why a lot of people are pointing to the difference between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis, who made it very clear after the last Hurricane Milton, you absolutely are going to pay the price if you try to steal from victims of that hurricane. No, I'm with you. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We're praying for everybody in California. It's just awful.
Let's hope Rick Caruso becomes governor to save us. Another good Italian.
I've heard that said already. All right. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you.
God bless, Cheryl.